official that President Trump is announcing the first phase of a ceasefire and peace agreement between Israel and Hamas. And so what I want to put up on your screen right now as we're continuing to talk is a live look there in the Gaza Strip. And so it's, as you can see, in the overnight hours, but this was posted on Truth Social just moments ago. He said, "I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed upon line as the first steps towards a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. And we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers." Signed, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. And this is groundbreaking. I mean, we've been following this since, again, this initially broke out there, the conflict between Israel and Hamas happening there on October 7th with that surprise attack that those on Hamas's side made there on several different areas in Israel. And we've been listening into hostage rallies, everything over the last 2 years, those pleading out for there to be released and some peace to be brought to this region, still taking this live look there in Gaza. We've watched this camera even as attacks were actively happening, bringing you those images here on Live Now from Fox. And so we have the Truth Social post up on your screen now, just so you're able to see a snippet. But if you're just now joining us here on Live Now from Fox, this is from President Trump himself saying that I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. And so this is a conversation that many thought that may happen. Of course, we know that earlier this week, Steve Witkoff, he's the special envoy to the Middle East, was heading there to have discussions about making this come to a close. In fact, we just reported to you, I'm going to put this up on your screen as well. This is from Caroline Leavitt. She was talking about the fact that President Trump was going to be visiting Walter Reed Medical Center for a planned meeting and remarks over the troops. But while he was there, the president is set to stop by for his routine yearly checkup. It's important because this next statement that Caroline Leavitt released there from the White House, saying that he will then return to the White House, President Trump is considering going to the Middle East shortly thereafter. This to me indicates that maybe this was already possibly on the table and that the president knew that he needed to get this checkup before eventually going there. There were reports out that he could be there as soon as Sunday. And so again, this is breaking news just coming into our newsroom. President Trump now saying that Israel and Hamas have agreed to sign the first phase of a Gaza deal. And so we're going to continue to stay right here with you on Live Now from Fox. We're not going to go away for any commercial breaks, but continue to really just dive into what this potentially means as we are now moving forward. And so this, again, and as we're covering all of this, we've seen the protest on both sides, folks speaking out everywhere about whether or not and how their feelings are towards the war, because it's tied to so many people individually. Showing you once again this live vantage point that we have there in the Gaza Strip. We've been hearing reports on all sides about how things are going on, but again, the Associated Press just starting to put out some more information there. Again, we know that Trump has made this announcement on his Truth Social site, saying this is the first phase. And so right now, we don't have any details about what that means. And ultimately, those are the questions that are going to continue to be asked in the coming days and weeks. And so hopefully, even in the next few hours or so, that information will continue to come to us and we'll bring it to you here on Live Now from Fox. But this is major. Hamas and Israel agreeing to form the first phase of a deal. And so, of course, we've been watching and following as these hostage negotiations have been going on. And so with these hostage negotiations that have been happening, that's really been one of the the main things that folks have been focused on, trying to understand where this goes next. But we do have a little bit more information from the Associated Press just on what is slated to potentially happening this week. Of course, they're once again reporting that President Trump said today that he's considering that trip to the Middle East within just a few days. This is a major show of optimism as those officials from the U.S. and Qatar did travel to an Egyptian resort for the third day of ongoing negotiations to end the Israel-Hamas war. And so this is what President Trump said as he was at a roundtable that we aired earlier here on LiveNOW from Fox. He said, I may go there sometime towards the end of the week, saying that negotiations are going well. This was just a hint, though, earlier today. So we were watching this and waiting to see if we would get official confirmation. We do know that President Trump has since put it out on his Truth Social site. If you're just now joining us or turning on your TVs here on LiveNOW from Fox, I want to make sure that we are continuing to update you and keep you at the very precipice of what's happening. So as we're at the top of the hour,